That's not a fish, folks. I thought it was snagged. Oh my god. Another rod. Another rod. Because people, I mean, there is catfish here, you can't just leave it on the rocks. Well, there is another restoration video in your future. Yeah. All right, this looks much better. Overall, I'm surprised how much the reel retained its colors. There's nothing rusty. There is some what is this, deposits here, build up, but it's not too bad. This place here lost the paint, but that's easy to repaint. This piece here lost its paint, but that's also easy to repaint. I don't have matching color, but I don't think it matters. I just paint them black or whatever. The rod handle, I think it has protective film here. When I remove it, it'll probably be in good shape, but okay, let's disassemble and start working on the individual pieces. Alright, we're gonna have to do the reel here in the garage. I know the light is not that good, but I'm not bringing this reel inside the house. Who knows what dirt and goo will come out of it. Let's check the spool first. Come on now. Oh, wow. That's exactly what I mean. Look at this, eh? Nice. Nice. Look at the spool. Very nice. Let's go hose them up. Look at this. I haven't heard the drag yet, but looking at the mechanical design, I can promise you that this reel will have better drag sound than any reel that Daiwa makes. That includes the Exist. This reel will have better drag sound than the $800 Daiwa Exist, for sure. Okay, I'm not familiar with this drag design, but this is all there is inside the spool. No dirt whatsoever though. I want to clean this with a Q-tip, but there is only one disc that, I don't know man, it could have been carbon. But I'll see what I have and I'll try to find some close-in size carbon disc. It doesn't have exactly the same. I have a bunch of leftovers that I removed. We'll put something fresh here and we're gonna put the Daiwa tournament drag grease and put it back. This is what I have. These are all reused. Let's see which of these will be closest. I'm thinking, oh, this looks real. This one is rougher, this one is softer. Let's put the softer one. Wow, look at this. Now look at this match, man. It's like a perfect match. See how it fits? I mean, it fits like a glove. Look at this. I mean, absolute glove. Let me go get the Daiwa drag grease. Alright, I'm gonna use Cal's drag grease instead of Daiwa's grease because I mean Daiwa's grease I don't know if it will benefit. This one is recommended by everybody anyway, but I don't know if it will benefit this particular, because Daiwa's grease is for felt, I believe, not for carbon. And this one I'm gonna over grease it. I think this one will do just fine. Oh yeah. I think this spool has a bearing inside. Of course the bearing is no good, but let's pop this C-clip off. Let's see what lies in here. Properly stuck, of course. Might be a bushing, might be a bearing. Yeah, it is a bearing. Unbelievable. This reel has a bearing under the spool. I do have a lot of bearings here. Let's see if we find the same size. Yep, 4 by 7 by 2.5. Look at this. Now my bearing is a little bit wider, thicker, but this only increases the support. So my bearing is ceramic and shielded, so it doesn't need maintenance. Okay, let's pop this bad boy in here and put the C-clip back, and the spool is completely done. Here we are, folks. The spool is only 70% probably cosmetically, but I would say it's 110% functionally, because we have a better bearing here now, we have a better drag disc, and we have a better grease than stock. Okay, next let's remove and clean the bell flip mechanism and paint this part here with whatever color I have. I had to remove the rotor to do the cleaning. Let me show you something. How about this for a reel? I don't know if this is salvageable. I got up so far, I'll try now. Okay, not too bad. Might need new screws. It doesn't matter that the plate is rusty. We'll need new bearing. But the rotor is plastic, so no damage. No damage there. Graphite. Sometimes it's good to be plastic. But okay, let's keep working on the rotor. Clean the bell flip mechanism and the line roller. Alright, we cleaned the bed here as good as we could. Now I'm gonna go spray this whatever color I have and put it back together. Yep, seized. Let's open it and see bushing or bearing. What is it inside? We gotta get this guy moving and need to sandpaper this a little bit. Okay, so we have a plastic washer here intact. I'm telling you, plastic parts have a lot of advantages. People always scorn them, but look, all of the bearings on this reel need to be replaced, and all of the plastic parts do not need to be replaced, and this thing here is completely seized. See, and I'll be damned, that's another bearing here. It's another bearing. Okay, let me see what size. I think it's the same size, so I'm pretty sure I have this bearing, and I'm gonna put a Yeah, let me see what I have. Yep, 4 by 7 by 2.5 again. Oh, okay, ABEX 7 sealed ceramic bearing going back, but first we're gonna have to clean this because it's not gonna run even if I put a new bearing. Let's clean and oil this. Alright, so I cleaned it as much as I could, and now I'm gonna try to even polish it a little bit, but not on top of the table because everything will get nasty. But it won't be perfect, but this part is aluminum, so I mean, I'm not gonna get anything 100% cosmetic, just 100% functionally. Lots of mud everywhere. While I'm waiting for some parts to dry, look at the knob. I can paint this knob some color. Or look what I found. This is from Okuma reel that I threw in a garbage, but I kept the parts. But I tried it already, it kind of doesn't fit the reel, so I'm gonna paint this one and try both and see which one I like more. I hate, assembling these back together, this spring, putting it back, and one of the biggest pain in a reel to put this back together. But boy, is it smooth now. It's got the right grease. You don't ever have to focus, buddy, focus. You don't ever have to do anything with this again. And that's the color that I have. It's different, but so what? Check this out. Nice and smooth. Oh yeah. Definitely higher quality bearing than what it had stock. Oh my god, this is smooth. I mean, I need somebody to test this just to tell me, boy, this is smooth and quiet. Listen to this bale trip. Alright, the handle. Let's clean it with this guy and polish it a little bit. Yeah, a lot of cleaning. And I'm not gonna paint it, but let's open the knob. The knob is completely seized. Let's see if it's openable. Yep, a little hex here. Okay, it is openable. Why don't we just... Wow, everything was seized, but this little bolt opened right away. Holy crap. Holy crap, folks. Let me show you how they got to 10 bearings. That is funny. This reel has 10 bearings, but look where they are. There is one bearing on the outside of the knob, then you have 1, 2, 3, then you have 3 bearings on the inside of the knob, and cheap bearings. You see, they're not anti-seize or anything, so they put 4 bearings in the knob alone so they can say on the box that the reel has 10 bearings, and you think that it has bearings everywhere. Actually, it has bearings, only cheap bearings in the knob, and it still has 5-6 bearings inside. If it has a line roller bearing, this one here, it still has enough bearings. But okay, let's clean this guy. I do have cheap Chinese bearings, so I will be putting 4 bearings back in this knob. Alright folks, everything outside is, I think, restored and in good shape. It's time to open this puppy and see what's actually inside. Interesting bearing here right away. I don't know if I'm gonna have this size, man, and I hate trying to restore these bearings. I would rather replace it, but it doesn't look like a common size. Yeah, let me measure it. Look at this, folks. After everything I did, I'm starting to think that the project will fail because there is no spare parts for this reel. This is not a Shimano or Daiwa, and everything is rusty and seized. So I have to restore parts. I cannot just... the bearings, I can get other bearings, but all the other parts, I don't know how that's gonna work. Alright folks, I know it's messy, but this is what we have to deal with. Okay, the main gear looks like brand new, will be restored. Okay, this nonsense here, I'm very disappointed by the look of the pinion gear. Pinion gear is usually bronze and stainless, not stainless, but it's treated so it doesn't rust. This pinion gear does not look good. We'll see, but... and then the locomotive gear here, that's normal. We have one bearing here, on the right of the side plate. This needs to come out, folks. Another bearing here, both of them completely seized, but yeah, I should be able to replace those. This gear not... I know it looks nasty, but there is no damage. Should be able to clean it and cast the zinc alloy. This one looks okay. Let's see if I can find bearings, and let me clean this business a little bit. I think we found a Chinese bearing for the... oh, these are Chinese, but they are ABEX 7. They are high quality Chinese. Don't expect me to put JDM bearings on this reel. Let's see. God damn. I don't have my instrument here, but that is the right bearing. I promise you that. And the side plate is as clean as I can get it. Can pop this bearing in here. Wow. And we can start putting... this is a low resistance bearing too. We can start putting this reel back together. We're gonna dab some Shimano grease over here under the locomotive gear, because I do want quality grease here. And I'm gonna put a tiny washer here, even though it didn't have a washer, but it's 0.1 millimeter. It's very thin, but I don't want the metal locomotive gear to run directly on the plastic. This will reduce the friction. And here we go. We already have two components back. Spinning very smooth now. Okay, let's keep going. Here's the main gear, folks. I try to clean it as much as I can. There is no damage on it. I don't know what kind of alloy is this. It has zero rust, as you can tell. It has deposits, but zero rust. So this guy is in good shape, and the pinion is in good shape. So we should be able to have a decent enough reel here. Now let's clean the other side plate and pop another ABEX 7 ceramic bearing here. Alright folks, the main gear is good to go, and the shaft is already in. Let's put this back and then add the other side plate. Here's one more view from both sides, folks. Brand new ABEX 7 bearings. Not that you need them, but No, that's what I had. They are Chinese, they're not expensive, so I think that's okay to put them here. The gear is cleaned and greased. I think the inside of the reel is done. Folks, believe it or not, I started restoring this reel over 1 year ago, and I restored 99% of the reel in just 3 days. And then I got stuck on the anti-reverse bearing because it had completely kind of dissolved from the rust. And I've been trying to find a replacement bearing for that Korean bearing. And, you know, I found so many bearings. You can see here, these are Chinese versions. I have Chinese bearings, I have Japanese bearings. This here is a Shimano bearing. And all of them fit just a little bit too tight on the sleeve of the anti-reverse bearing. None of them fit perfectly. You can put them and the reel will spin, but they add a lot of resistance. And I just couldn't find a solution. I don't know what to do with this, but I can't abandon the project now. So what I decided, and I even tested it, is I'm not gonna put an anti-reverse bearing in the reel at all. But basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the bearing on top of the anti-reverse bearing, which is very thick, by the way, another ABEC 7 bearing. This is a huge bearing here. It sits in this bushing. And this bearing, what it does is it fits very snug here in the body, and it prevents the main shaft from moving at all. It stabilizes the whole main shaft, and now it makes it very smooth and at the same time very low resistance. So this guy goes on top of it and it keeps it from coming off, and now the whole thing is super smooth. Now let me put the rest of the reel together and tell you what we ended up with. Folks, just look at this. I haven't even put the spool yet, but look what good bearings and good grease do even to a reel that you dig out of the bottom of the lake. And you saw how nasty this reel looked like. Look at this, folks. I gotta tell you, I am a little bit proud of this. I put so many hours of not assembly, but cleaning the little corners of the teeth and the frame to make sure everything is as clean as possible. Look at this. This reel feels absolutely phenomenal if you can consider where it came from. I mean, this reel feels incredible. No anti-reverse now. But my gosh, is it smooth and quiet and incredibly low resistance. I mean, you look at this. Where is the resistance? Huh? Where this reel will put some modern reels to shame in terms of resistance and feel. And there she is, folks. What do you think? I think not too bad after all. I mean, go to the beginning of the video and look at the chunks of mud that came out of this reel from under the spool. Even the body head was full of sludge. Now the handle here does look reasonably ugly. I mean, I scrubbed it as much as I could and I painted it. There is 4 bearings here. It used to have 4 bearings, still has 4 bearings. What else? Over here I had to paint this guy black. Not the worst color. It doesn't completely match, but I don't know, I kind of like it. The handle is gray. The knob over here we painted gray too. It's really not bad. The spool looks really nice, in great shape. The drag, folks, I already fished the reel. I fished the reel on the same day I fished with Realistic Fishing here, but I made the video after I dropped him off, as I didn't want to get him distracted. Didn't want to get myself distracted. But this reel, for some reason, even though I put a carbon disc inside, has a much nicer drag than the brand new Suare XR reel. I don't really understand this. I can't wrap my head around it. It shouldn't be, because they're both carbon. I think this carbon had finer texture, but more surface. I think that's the secret, but unquestionably, this drag is smoother and more consistent than the Suare XR. I mean, the sound of this drag clicker, better than any Daiwa. I don't have external microphone right now, but just trust me, you know what authority I am on drag clickers. Just a formidable authority. I'm like the Supreme Court of drag clickers in the fishing industry. What else? The line roller here, we put a ceramic bearing. This thing is, I don't know if you can see, but this thing is now absolutely free spinning. They ate it off the bottom. Look at this drag. Oh my god. This bluegill here, there's something else. The drag on this reel is better than the new Suare. That's right. It is. That's a nice bluegill though. They ate it again. The same way. Man, the drag on this reel is perfect. The only problem, I can tell you already, I already fished with this reel. The back reeling is absolutely not a problem while fishing. I have grown up using reels that could back reel. Even in the United States, there are many anglers that know how to fish with back reeling. There is even one lunatic who says you should back reel. I don't think you should back reel, but if you know how to back reel, anyway, it is really, just trust me, I wouldn't mind telling you if it's a problem. But while you fish with the reel, back reeling is not a problem, because, you know, I'm twitching the trout magnet and then I reel, I twitch and I reel, and my hand is here anyway. So when I set the hook, I don't know, it never came back. The only problem with the anti-reverse bearing is, you know, when you put it on the rod holder like this, and the hook is, or whatever, somewhere on the guide or whatever, you put it like this, and the handle goes back, you know. You put it like this, the handle goes back. Well, when the handle goes back, now you have 3-4 loops of line here. Very unpleasant. So every time I drive with the boat from one spot to the next spot, I find the reel, you know, a few turns back and a few loops of line here. Honestly, the only problem with this reel is transportation. So what I ended up doing is I have like a little Q-tip, and I'm gonna pry bar it here between the spool and the rotor, just so when I transport it, it doesn't spin. That's my only problem. But guys, if any of you has by some miracle some of these Bass Pro Shops formula reels broken at home and you can't use it anymore, please contact me. I want to buy the anti-reverse bearing. I really want to end up with a nice memory. It doesn't matter if I fish it or I give it to somebody. I want to finish this project. Even as it is, I consider the project a success, but if I can find an anti-reverse bearing from somewhere, that would make me really happy. So please contact me if you have one. And now I'm gonna let you go, and you can enjoy a few bluegill that I caught with this reel. Goodbye. Got him.